He's strong, not even close to Senya though, but definitely for a tower master. Robertian says that he heard from Gillard that he's quite interested in magic. Is that correct? Eugene confirms this, and Robertian notes that it's truly an interesting and charming subject, but it's much harder to learn than most things. That's when he notices something's wrong and swings the tower doors open with just a glance. It seems that the rat, Iode, is spying on them. Eugene has to contain his anger, as that bastard was going around town, bragging that he fooled around with a damn succubus. Robertian urges him to come and greet his brother, and he's quite hesitating, as he doesn't know what to say. Eugene coldly greets him and says that he's looking forward to working together. Iode can only utter a simple reply, and Robertian notes that if he's done, he can go upstairs and read a book or something. He retreats back into the tower slowly, and Robertian apologizes for letting him see such a sorry sight. Eugene says that it's all right, and Robertian notes that, according to Gillard, he didn't want to learn magic from him, right? Eugene confirms it, as he doesn't want to bother the tower master, and if he were to learn directly from him, many people would start to complain about the Lionhearts using their authority. That is precisely why he wants to learn magic on his own. Robertian says that if he wishes so, they will do it like that. He won't intervene at all or make exceptions, but if he ever needed anything, he should ask Hera. He says that he welcomes him inside the tower while he's in Aroth, and it's not as luxurious as the family residence, but it's pretty decent all in all. 1 month after being at the Red Magic Tower, Eugene went to the library every single day, not missing one. He went to the library early to read up on magic and returned to his chambers late at night. That doesn't mean he only focused on magic, as he woke up extremely early to train his mana before his trips to the library and trained his body every single night until he started sweating profusely. Naturally, he was getting little sleep, but his body somehow got rid of all the fatigue in just a few hours of sleep. He thinks that he has read all of the books in the library, so he should get started. 300 years ago, Senya told everyone the steps of magic very clearly. They were her own steps, but after she became the Green Magic Tower Master at such a ripe age, countless mages imitated her methods. The first step was a circle, manipulating the mana of the body into a ring and circulating it to manifest magic. When the mana of a circle hits its limit, the circles automatically increase in number. Even after these 300 years, most magi are still using this circle method. The only people who don't are dark and spirit mages, who use completely different methods. He arrives in a room where Hera is waiting for him and asks if they are starting with a circle. Hera confirms this, as it's the most effective way, even after 300 years. Eugene notes that he wants to change it up a bit, and Hera says that changing a method is not advised. So how does he plan to do it? She looks at him and notes that the mana management used in magic and martial arts are worlds apart. So without the proper technique and chant, magic won't manifest. And he won't tell him this, but if it fails, he could get injured or, worse, die. Eugene says that this is why he wants to try it in the first place, and he thinks that this is why he read all of those books in the library. Hera thinks that he's young, so he won't get it unless he sees that it's not working for himself. He can try it, but if she feels that something dangerous will occur, she will have to intervene. As if he were to get injured, it wouldn't just affect her reputation, but the entire Red Magic Tower. Eugene agrees and starts emanating mana from his body. He thinks that the White Flame method and the Circle method have different ways to do them, but in essence, they are the same. With the White Flame method, mana is handled through the stars of the heart. With the Circle method, mana is handled through a hook. If he were to replace the circle with stars, he could increase his mana. He can also control the mana depending on what he needs, so it'd just be a bother if he tried to predict how it would go, and happened to be wrong. Hera looks at him and can't believe her eyes. He's controlling such an amount of mana perfectly. It should just disappear, but it doesn't. How is that even possible at his age? Eugene summons a fireball and slowly transforms it into a magic missile. Hera thinks that he just did magic that would require calculations in his head without even channeling it. And he also manages to change the type of magic without dispelling it first. Eugene thinks it's not that bad for his first try, and he asks Hera if she can summon a monster so that he can test the strength of his spells. Hera thinks for a minute and says that a golem should be fine, and so she summons a golem made out of cabrium. It won't defend itself, but its exterior is quite tough. enough to act as a natural defense mechanism. Eugene finds this target great, and he shoots the golem with his magic missile. Later, Roberitan comes to look at the scene and asks if Eugene really used the white flame method to make a circle using magic. Hera confirms it, and there were no impurities in the mana. Disregarding the magic type, his offensive strength is above the level of a third circle mage. Robertian thinks that this sort of talent is amazing, as using martial art methods for mana isn't just impressive, but also quite scary. Eugene is a white flame method 3-star, so would he be wrong for thinking that the 3-star he has is equivalent to a magic third circle? He sits down and asks Hera if Eugene is out now. She confirms this, noting that he left early in the morning as he had some things to attend to. He also asks if it would be unwise to write an essay recommendation letter for Eugene. She notes that the only people who can enter that royal library are aristocrats, high-ranking mages, and royalty. Robertian says that Eugene is qualified enough, as he has mastered the introductory texts within a month and used the circle as his core to use magic. And with that, he managed to piece together a whole through a Cabrium golem. So he will write a recommendation letter, as such talent like his shouldn't be wasted on ifs and whys. Hera says that other mages will surely complain about this. Robertian notes that if they were too, it just means they are jealous and failed to see the truth behind his talent. He also asks what plans Eugene has, as he probably doesn't know anyone in Arath. She notes that he went to meet a friend, which Robertian finds quite strange. In the Murdain Square, Eugene stares at a statue of Senya, and thinks that she did in fact smile that way when she achieved something that had to do with magic. Suddenly Gargus appears and asks if it's really him. Eugene is quite shocked at his appearance and wonders if it's really possible to have such a beard at the age of 18. Gargus offers him a handshake and notes that he grew quite a lot, but not as much as him. Eugene says that he just grew too much and they shake hands. Gargus notes that he can tell just by holding his hand that he's trained his body for the last 4 years at least. But it's clearly not enough, so he should use his family's secret muscle growth potion, as he already brought it for him. Eugene immediately rejects it, but he still tries to give it to him, as his father lost so much weight because of their methods and this potion. He knows, right? Eugene just demands he stop trying to send that weird potion to him through his father, and asks why he wanted to meet, as he presumes he didn't just come all this way to give him the potion. Gargus asks if he knows anything about Bolero Alley, and Eugene says that he knows a bit, thinking that is the place Iode visits to have his little fun. Gargus notes that he heard a great rumor that a giant's testicles are up for auction there. Eugene can't believe what he just heard, and Gargus, unfortunately, repeats himself. Eugene asks why he would ever want those things, and Gargus says that a giant's gems have great value among mages, so he wants to take them and make a custom muscle growth potion from them by giving them to a famous alchemist in Aeroth. They should go to the auction together as he brought a ton of cash, but even that might not be enough. Eugene asks in what world he would just lend him money, and that's when Gargus lands straight on his knees and begs. Eugene urges him to stop, as he already attracts way too much attention with his big body, so he will just lend him some money. Gargus thanks him and swears that he will pay it back with interest if needed. He also heard that there would be many high-value items at the auction other than the giant's gems. Eugene just scoffs, and Gargus wonders why he's not interested. But he does have Winniad, so he wouldn't care for other weapons. He notes that he's just interested in the street itself, and thinks that he saw Iode in the tower a few days ago, and he was showing clear withdrawal from the succubus. This coming full moon, Iode will definitely be there. Later, Robertian summons him as soon as he enters the magic tower, but he finds this perfect timing since he also wanted to ask something about Iode. He arrives, and Robertian urges him to take a seat and make himself comfortable. He does so, and he asks why he called for him. Robertian hands him a letter using magic, and Eugene is extremely surprised to find that this is a letter of recommendation for Acreon. The Royal Library of Acreon was famous even 300 years ago because Aeroth's pride, the essence of magic, was kept there. However, many of the magic texts that are kept in the magic towers can't even compare to the quality of those in Acreon. He thinks that he must be humble, and says that at the moment, this may be too much for him. Robertian notes that he actually thinks that now is the perfect opportunity for him. He hasn't even gone that deep into magic yet, so he has endless possibilities. Even if he can't comprehend the texts in Acreon currently, just reading them will help broaden his knowledge. And someday, That knowledge will turn him into an amazing mage. Eugene thinks that Acreon contains ancient magic from the mythical age as well as the philosopher's text, deemed the best of its time. He asks if Senya's texts are also kept there, and Robertian confirms it, but the red magic tower and the green magic tower both keep Senya's texts.